Heads of states, ministers and executives gathered in Riyadh for the Saudi Arab African Economic Conference. The event saw the oil-rich kingdom map its investment plans in Africa during the next 7 years.
In our industrial sector, we have already identified different sectors where we see a lot of opportunities also can be benefiting from Africa, such as the food processing, automotive, and also renewable and so on. In mining also we see great potential to work with African countries on both ways, in the upstream mining or in the geological survey and exploration, but also in manufacturing and processing.
As Saudi Arabia diversifies its investments portfolio away from relying on oil and gas, Africa rises as an attractive virgin market. Participants were thrilled to hear the Saudis say they want to change the African traditional narrative from only a source for raw material.
Africa is changing. The world is changing. Several developed economies today are looking up to Africa as a new frontier. And that's today what Saudi Arabia is demonstrating by this summit. And I had all the speeches being made. Saudi Arabia is looking into Africa as an area of development for cooperation in terms of mining, in terms of youth development, in terms of agriculture, in terms of tourism and services. And we think the African economy needs to begin to change from a primary economy servicing the world to a secondary economy.
Saudi has the accessibility and excess capital, while Kenya and Africa in general has the opportunities available and the challenges of access to capital. So the two can actually be matched together.
Arab and African ministers held panel discussions and roundtables to discuss crucial investment areas in the continent. From food security to training Africa's human capital and sustainable development, the Saudi conference investigated many of Africa's challenges and provided methods to approach them.
Saudi officials were speaking almost the exact business language as many African countries. That encouraged many participants here as the continent prepares to open more room for Saudi investments. The kingdom says it has poured about $220 billion in recent decades in Africa. Agreements signed in this conference pledge $50 billion more.